Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So, Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So, if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go straight over to those charts. So we are, as it appears to me, at a, for the short term anyway, at a sort of do or die point for Bitcoin. Do or die on the short term. Obviously, here are my parameters. Do or die for the short term is here. Do or die for the medium term is here. And then do or die for the long term. Yeah, the long term is here. So these are my three criteria. But we are at the short term do or die point. So we need to hold this support here, hold this level here. Ideally hold the trend line, but that isn't the most important thing. As long as we hold this level here, then we are still sort of making higher highs. Even, let's have a look at this. We'll have to zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, we did just take out the low of this one, but I would realistically be looking at this low, and then this low here. And then anyway, we could still trade lower than this for the time being. So as long as we stay higher than these lows here, we could still be printing that higher high. But yeah, realistically, I want us to be holding this horizontal also, and turning ourselves around and getting back up into the thick of this well, ascending triangle in this resistance box, just this area, get back into the thick of this area. So that is what I'm looking at now. If we fail here, which obviously whilst we are at the lower level, the point of failure, you have to obviously ascertain a higher statistical chance of that happening. If we fail here, it is not a problem for me in the medium term as long as we hold about 11k, and we can easily play out this range. And in fact, even when we were going all the way up here and looking fantastic, I was saying to you guys, look, realistically, we could very likely just form a range here in this box here, which if we do break down from here, that will be exactly what we have done, and was kind of what I was expecting to happen, just more based on gut instinct rather than based on actual calculated statistical probabilities. I just didn't feel like at that point of moving up here, we then were going to take another leg straight up at that point. I just thought we needed to, we just needed to consolidate this range a bit. And I do know that Bitcoin does obviously form these sort of long form consolidations. We all know that. But obviously you have a recency bias. When Bitcoin obviously pumps up and then starts to pump again, you have a recency bias that is telling you that, well, with Bitcoin, just going to pump up and keep going to the moon and keep going. And then you sort of forget the recency bias you would have had here when Bitcoin was breaking out and you thought, well, it's not going to go up to 12k, but you were wrong in that case, and then you were probably wrong in this case if you thought we were going to keep rallying up to 14k right there. So something to consider, just something to consider, guys. Recency bias, I mean, I'll tell you right now, trading is hard, and it is hard because a lot of the principles and good trading practices go against human nature and human psychology, human nature, just how our brain is wired. We kind of have to do things that our brain is telling us aren't the right things to do. So yeah, I won't go into the details of that now, but recency bias is one of them. You'll generate a recency bias, and then you will get sort of blindsided when that no longer is the case, whatever your bias towards whatever recent price action was. So right, that being said, we will go through the stochastics after just having a quick look at the 12-hour, see how we are looking in relation to that 12-hour 9. Yeah, you can see we did take out the top. We did have an indecision candle, and then once we took out the level to the downside, we obviously accelerated to the downside and hit how basically near enough bang on our bottom side level here. So I mean, it is expected price action here. If you don't make it above there, you come back down, you fail at that level, then yeah, accelerate down into the next support level, which was here. So like I said, you can kind of see it more clearly on the 12-hour here. We've got to realistically hold this trend line as we are now, hold this support line which we've wicked down to. That is all fair enough at the moment. We have got to basically start making some moves up. But what could happen, what very likely could happen, we could end up with a liquidity hunt from basically where we are, this 11,500, take that level out, take this level out at just under 11,400, and then we could potentially get a savage wick move back up that could definitely give us the actual momentum to propel us to 12k. So don't rule that out as a possibility either. But to a certain extent, a lot of the market probably has been faked out at the moment with this move up. A lot of the market has been faked out. So are the bears, well, I call them bears, but are the bulls that want to pick up cheaper Bitcoin going to be able to force us down here? Not as likely as it was before we did have this fake out up here, because we have trapped longs already. So we don't really need to try and trap the shorts, if you know what I mean. There we go. So we'll have a look at those oscillators. There's those stochastics. As you can see, a 4 hour is now turning, is turning sharply down, is traveling down. It's turned sharply down, now it's traveling down. So we've got to wait for some sort of bottom there. Interesting to see the 10 and 12 hour, because these are important ones. 10 hour is looking to turn back round, and 12 hour, I mean, it is pointing up, but it's losing. This uptrend is moving momentum. So realistically, price action wise, we need to get back above 11,700, get back above this level, and then things will start to look good, with this being a low in relative to this low, obviously relative to that low, obviously not relative to this low because it's slightly lower, but is marginal, and this is in a tight shorter period of time where you could encapsulate this whole price action together and then say this is the low. That's kind of what I'm looking at there. Let's have a look at those daily Stokes, but I pretty much know what's going to be happening there. Yeah, coming down, but these are looking like they could turn back up, so that is not too bad. 2 day coming down, 3 day coming down, 5 day turning, weekly not looking as good. Weekly was looking like it was clearly going to take out this level, but at the moment it's not. But this can all change if the 12 hour gets going. If we start to get back above 11,700, I think things will look a lot better here. But like I said at the start of the video, is do or die for Bitcoin in the short term here. So we're going to have to see how it goes. I will point out though, our altcoins that we are it's not a good day for altcoins if you look at all this red, but RLC, one of my favorites, up nicely today. One of my favorite Binance alts, as I have been saying in the group. KSM, basically my favorite, literally probably is my favorite altcoin. Has had a big move up recently, and Dot newly to Binance here after its 100 its 1 to 100 split, performing very nicely as well. So yeah, so there are opportunities out there at the moment if you are looking in the right places. And yeah, if you guys in the group, you guys will know I've been talking about KSM and Dot, especially KSM, since about $5 basically, and I've been buying that since $5. So there you go. Anyway, so remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You should always do your own research, and I will catch up with you guys later on today, where I believe we will have some sort of resolution to whether are we coming down to 11k, or are we going to get back above 11,700 and start to look constructive and make our way back to 11,900 and then 2,000 and then 12,000 and then above. So thanks for listening, guys, and yeah, again, I will speak to you guys soon.